I've had worse. Just the dog days of January, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's all there is to it. Guess we're not getting any snow. Are we supposed to get any?
I haven't even checked the weather, to be honest with you.
I
For a
haven't
long
either.
time.
I mean, I don't have to drive to work, so I wake up and I don't really care what it's doing.
About that point where I need a snow day.
We're live. Let's do a couple audio checks with the guests if they're listening. YouTube.
40% tomorrow, but that's rain, I think. Anybody hearing us?
Test. 1,
Good.
2. Sound check. Can you see me in the shot, John? Do I need to move up a little?
We need to get the talent in the shot.
Yeah, we got to get the main scene.
That's what they call it, the talent.
Okay. All right, we're going to go get started, guys. This is our North Davies Basketball Coaches Show. First of all, I want to thank our sponsors, Odin Locker, ABK Flooring, JJ's Concrete, and Bobcat of Davies County, again, for allowing us to do this this evening and also bring you all of the boys and girls at all levels, all the action that we're able to this year. I am Coach McNabb, joined here with Coach Dalrymple and Coach Riggins, our boys and girls coaches here at North Davies. I'm going to start with Coach Dalrymple. Coach, been a while since we've been here on the Coaches Show, back since pre-OMB Classic. Looking back on that tournament is where I want to start. Wins versus South Knox and Southridge, however, the loss to Lagodi in the semifinals. Just give us your overall thoughts on the tournament in general from an admin standpoint, given the circumstances, and then also just what you learned about your team basketball-wise.
Yeah, given the circumstances, I have to get it an A+. I mean, things went on without a hitch. So many things could have gone wrong, and nothing did really as far as all the teams showed up. We had one team, that Paoli, that ended up getting quarantined right before the tournament, but Mr. Mullen had Shoals already lined up, so they came in and filled in and did a great job. They came in and won 2 games, and you know, the tournament itself was what it is most of the time. I mean, you're playing really good teams, and you're going to have knockdown, drag-out games, and you know, I think we beat South Knox by 6 or 8. Went in overtime with Lagodi, who's a really good team, and then came back the next night and won by 2 against Southridge. So overall, a success. I think we got better throughout the week, and you know, couldn't be happier with being able to pull this thing off during this pandemic.
You know, obviously the game that everybody wanted to see and look at was the Lagodi game, just because of the rivalry itself and also the sectional preview. One game in that series this year. Where do you guys stack up? What are you looking forward to again in March?
Well, you know, that was probably the first game all season that felt, quote, normal. We were able to get 400 or 500 people in the gym, so it was loud, it was emotional, it was pressure-packed. It was everything you expect a rivalry game, a sectional game between Lagodi and North Davies to be. And, you know, we felt like we knew who our team is, and we felt like we belong with the big boys, and we consider Lagodi one of the big boys. So got beaten overtime, and not what we wanted, but we certainly understand we belong in that conversation with the teams like that. And no doubt in my mind we'll get to do it again in 2 months.
Well, Coach, tip of the cap to you and Mr. Geralds and Mr. John Mullen for pulling it off yet again. And another great tournament. Brownstown Central and Lagodi faced off in the finals, and Lagodi took down Brownstown. Just a overall great job, and hopefully we can get back to the normal format in 2021 and get some quality opponents in here, and just like every other year. Coach Riggins, Lady Cougars have continued their season very nicely. Picked up a win over break over Cloverdale. Fell to Paoli last week, a team that's playing really good basketball right now, and then finally last night going over to Shakamak and defeating them by the score of 45-28. Just recap those, if you can briefly, the first two games, and then more in depth from last night's game to take us to 9-5 overall, and then 3-1 in the conference.
Yeah, the Cloverdale game, we've done some really good things defensively. We're always trying to tweak stuff, and we took time over these last three games to really put some new things in, to run some new offenses, and just tweaking to go down the stretch here before sectional play. The Paoli game, we took one on the chin there, but I'm not as upset as I was the night of, because they turned around and got a really good win over Scottsburg last night, and they're a really good team. And it may have let us refocus a little bit. We won 4 straight. The girls have probably never been through winning 4 straight before. So it was good for us. It's probably the best thing for us if you can see a loss as a good thing. So last night against Shakamak, first game on the road in a long time, we went down. We took care of business. We won every quarter. So that's the goal every game. If you win every quarter, you're going to win the game. We've seen some really good things. We found some things that going inside, working our way back out. We really stretched that, and we did a good job of that last night. So hats off to the girls sticking with us and continuing to improve and continuing doing things the right way and tweaking things and getting ready here for the last part of our season.
Couple of follow-up questions. Slow start last night, 7-6 after the first quarter. We felt like we needed to get out of the gates a little quicker than that. Kudos to two of our seniors, Maddie Miller and Maya Knepp, for really bringing us back that second quarter and expanding our lead. So talk on them briefly, and then also just an update on the SWIAC standings and kind of where we stand.
Yeah, Maya Knepp, she's kind of came in her own here recently. She's getting really close to averaging a double-double. She's pulled down a few more rebounds, but I think she's going to get there. And ever since that second half of Bar Eve, she's kind of found her groove and been doing really good things. Maddie Miller, same thing. Second half of the Bar Eve game, she got hot from outside, and that's kind of followed her through. She had 17 last night. She had a game where she had 19. She had a game of 21, and we were finally seeing what she's capable of, and she's doing a really good job. Leading us on and off the court, and just. Them two have been really good for us, and hopefully they'll continue that up, and I think they will. I have all utmost confidence in them too. In SWIAC, we're second in SWIAC. We control our own destiny. If we win out, we're staying alone in second, and I meant to look today, but I would say we haven't finished second in SWIAC since a really long time. I mean, it's probably been 6, 7, 8 years probably. I'm not sure. Maybe longer than that.
Yep.
So hopefully we continue to do that. And see what happens. We got a pretty good squad put together, and I think we're going to be able to continue to do that down the road and keep playing well.
Again, the Lady Cougars are 9-5 overall, so we're hitting the home stretch here of our season. We've got 7 regular season games remaining, and then the sectional draw is January the 24th on Sunday, usually in the evening. So something to look forward to as well. We're due for a good one, so yes. we're praying and hoping for that. But so kudos to you guys and all the girls for putting in the work. Coach Dalrymple, uncommon opponent last weekend. First time we've played this school. First time they've kind of got their school going, their program. Big win on the road over Evansville Christian. Very young team, albeit a very talented team. Tell us about the road trip and tell us about the game.
Well, Evansville Christian, a lot of people were asking me about where'd they come from and why are they on our schedule. And anybody that watched the game or attended the game, I think, can see why they're on our schedule. They're a young squad. They've got several freshmen. They've got several sophomores. They're long. They're athletic. They've got a kid that Josiah Dunham, that's a freshman, that is going to be the real deal. He was a handful the other night. He's going to keep getting nothing but better. And they're going to be in the IHSA tournament here in 2 years. So when all those kids get to be juniors and seniors, they're going to start playing in the, I assume they'll probably be in the 1A sectional down at Tecumseh or Wood Memorial, wherever that sectional is, which will feed into our regional. So we've kind of tried to get ahead of this game a little bit and add them to our schedule. We always like to play common opponents, and we like to play opponents that we'll see in the regional or farther down in the tournament, and that's definitely a team that we're going to see. So kids did a really nice job. Again, we went on the road. That was a really tough gym to play in. It was a really nice gym. It's a brand new gym. It's got really nice bleachers setup, but literally
small.
housed about 100 people.
Yeah.
And it's just totally different than where we play our games mostly. And thought the kids made great adjustments all night long, and they kept making runs. We kept trying things, and for the most part, we did what we were supposed to do, and just kept extending that lead. Joe mentioned it as well. Our goal is to win every quarter by one bucket, and if you win every quarter by a bucket, you win the game. And
absolutely,
it's pretty much what we did once we got going. So real proud of our kids for another good road win.
Yeah, 9-1, top 5 in the state. I mean, really can't ask for a better start with all the road games and all the really just tough trips and tough opponents, and really first half of the season, definitely an A on the report card.
I couldn't be happier with our kids. I mean, we had a lot of question marks coming into this, as you guys know, and we have check marked and answered a lot of those questions as we head into the second half of our season.
Well, Shakamak, Friday night, a lot of great athletes came out of Shakamak, including myself. Always a tough trip, right? I mean, we just did it last night. Junior high girls are going there tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You're going back Friday night, obviously, to play a JV varsity boys game. What type of things are you looking for against the Lakers?
Well, Shakamak's a nice basketball team. I mean, they've got some really good ball handlers. They've got some kids that are older and experienced. They do start a freshman that's a pretty good player as well. But the Gilbert kid seems like he's been there forever. I know he's had brothers go through there.
Right.
And but there's a lot of fine athletes out there, and the thing that you get when you go to Greene County, you get hard-nosed, blue-collar type of guys that'll just get after you and be all over you, and it's a tough place to play. Shakamak's a difficult gym. It's a different gym that you don't see all the time. And,
right.
If it's cold enough, you open that outside door and you get that breeze that comes there on the free throw line, and it's a tough place. It's a nice place, but it's a tough place to play. So we've got our work cut out for us. Again, it's on the road. It's a SWIAC opponent. Our goal is to win the SWIAC this year, and
yes, sir.
We know in order to do that, we've got to win each and every game. So we've had a good week of practice for the most part, and we'll be ready to go and do that on Friday.
Looking forward to it, Coach. We'll be over there to call the game as we got the test run in last night with the girls, so we'll be there Friday night to call the action. Looking forward to that. Coach Riggins, obviously brutal schedule with us coming up here. It's jam-packed with a lot of good quality basketball teams. Girls basketball around here is really pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
And it kind of can go under the radar somewhat, but you got your top-tier teams, and then you've got a lot of teams that are just solid.
Yep.
And we got a lot of them on the schedule upcoming here. Tomorrow we got South Knox, Saturday Orleans, both here at the Cougar Den. Give us the scoop as far as what types of efforts we'll need to compete in those games.
Yeah, South Knox coming in tomorrow, and they are going to get after us defensively. They're going to play really hard. They're going to have a lot of energy. And, we've kind of taken that game on the chin the past 3 years, so hopefully we can kind of flip the script on that and have a chance to win tomorrow. You look at the record, and I think it says they're 4-9, but their schedule has been absolutely brutal. I mean, they played Evansville Memorial, they played Brownstown Central, they've played a lot of really, really good opponents. So, just because of that record is what it is, they've really beefed up their schedule, and they're pretty good, and they're going to come in here, and they're going to play hard, they're going to get after it. And we have to – if we can defend and rebound, we're going to give ourselves a chance, and that's what we need to be able to do. And the same thing with Orleans. They got a girl with the last name of Robbins, and she can flat fill it up really quick. They got a big girl inside, probably one of the tallest girls we'll see all year. Then they got a couple shooters that can put it in too, and that's a sectional opponent. So we're looking forward to these next 2 games. It's going to tell us a lot about it, a lot about us, and see what we're made of, because it'll be our second, third games of the week. We've had that early on in the year, but we've been pretty spaced out for the most part. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the girls. We had a really good practice today. We were locked in. We didn't do much, but just talked about some defensive assignments and what we got to take care of tomorrow night. Hopefully get that done. Then we'll do the same thing Friday and go back at it Saturday.
Well, last night Bar Eve and Orleans played. It was low scoring, 28-27. Bar Eve came out on top at Bar Eve. Do you look into those scores a whole lot, and if so, what do you take from that as far as sectional preparation?
You look at it and you see it, but I don't think you can really look into it too much. Because this time of year, I haven't watched the film yet. Who knows if everybody was there for both teams? There's a lot of quarantine stuff going on and stuff like that. So you look at it, but every game's a different game. Every team may Bar Eve may be able to exploit Orleans' weakness. Orleans may be able to exploit Bar Eve's weakness. So yeah, you look at it, and we went and competed with Bar Eve. Really thought we should have gave them besides our 2 for 19 first half. We were right there, and so it's yeah, we see it. We see Orleans. They did beat them, but we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, it should be a fun sectional come up. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Thursday, Saturday again here at North Davies. Tomorrow night is varsity only, 7 o'clock start against South Knox. Saturday is a 1 o'clock start. It'll be 2 quarters of JV, followed by a varsity game, and then that night will lead us into the Buggy Bowl, which is where we're going to turn our attention to now. Obviously, you guys know that's upcoming, and for that, I happen to have a special guest to join us tonight on the show. He is a guy you are very familiar with. So he's going to help us bring in this Buggy Bowl action. We're going to talk some stories. We're going to talk some memories and some good games and such. So enter our special guest here. You guys have all seen him before. He is a former player and coach here at the Cougar Den. Mr. Logan Wagler joins the show. So guys, obviously this is our Buggy Bowl roundtable. You guys have all been in a lot of them, and you guys have all got several wins in these games, and it's been a minute, and you guys have a lot to do with the wins that we've had. I want to start with our special guest here, Logan Wagler. Coach, just give us your best memory.
Him to shave.
Give us your best memory from what you remember as a player in the Buggy Bowl.
It's pretty obvious that that's probably going to be the semi-state, and as far as the memory that I'll never forget is just taking the floor. Just as simple as that place was packed, and that gym is just ridiculous in itself, and to have it completely full of your fans and other people's fans, and just the atmosphere, it's the greatest.
Well, semi-state is a good memory, but I want the Buggy Bowl memory.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
See, I was messing with my mic. I didn't miss it.
I agree with you on the semi-state.
Best Buggy Bowl was probably in 2008 when Harpstrite hit the runner in overtime, double overtime. My whole freshman to senior year was just trying to get that momentum to get over the top on those guys.
Yeah.
And it seemed like when Harpstrite did it, a lot of us younger guys looked up to him and Jolliffe as
Sure.
kind of as the leaders of the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to be a phenomenal team, and we were. We was one of the first in the state, and just to push through. So many times we fell short, and him hitting that shot was a big relief.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
He tried it 3 times, I think. He finally got the third one, so.
Yeah.
Coach Dalrymple, piggyback off Logan. I mean, what's your best memory looking back on your career here at North Davies?
Well, obviously some of the games with these guys. Harbs is right up there when he hit that shot in double OT, and that was at Bar Eve, and that's one of the only times I've ever won at Bar Eve.
Garrett hit that shot.
Yeah, Garrett hit
2006, I think. Yep.
But one of the ones that stands out the most is probably the first year I was here, and everybody was telling me about the Buggy Bowl, and that was when we played Bar Eve early. That was when we played them third game of the year. Well, I'd never heard of the Buggy Bowl. I wasn't from here. And all of a sudden, third game of the year, we've got 3,000 people in the stands, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on here? It was amazing, and we ran it all the way down to we were tied, and Ryan Wirtz stole the ball with about 7 seconds left, went down and hit a last-second shot, and that was my indoctrination into what the Buggy Bowl is all about. So that really sold the hype for me. That was one of those things I'd heard about, but until you see it. The other thing, one of the things that, there's so many games that we've had. Garrett hitting that shot was great because I think we had told him not to shoot the ball anymore, and then we finally we set up a play for him and went back to him, and he made it. But one of the best memories, and it might have been that same year, we got there. We always get to the gym about an hour early.
Sure.
So we arrived about 4:55, and there was easily 300 people outside waiting on the doors to open at the Bar Eve gym. And man, that's when you're a part of something special. So a lot of good memories with these guys, and a lot of good games. Didn't just have to be the Buggy Bowl. We've had some sectionals that were unbelievable, and some still probably on the internet and being passed around. But those couple things are really good memories and things that stick in my brain.
Coach Riggins, 2011, your senior year, you guys were fortunate enough to pick up 2 wins on Bar Reeve, one in the regular season and one in the sectional. The regular season game, Buggy Bowl, overtime victory. Talk about, maybe if that's your best memory, but talk about what your favorite memory of Buggy Bowl is.
Yeah, we actually played them in the Graber Post tourney then, and they beat us. I think they beat us by 10 or 11 or something. And and I remember going in the locker room after that game, and everyone was real quiet and down, and then I think someone, might have been Clayton, spoke up and said, "Dude, we're going to see him two more times. Who cares? Let's move on." And we did, and then it was 2 or 3 weeks later we came out and we played them again and got them in the Buggy Bowl. So that just meant that meant a lot to be able to do that. And then we got them in sectional again and got it done by, I think we won by a total of probably 4 points in both of those games. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for everybody, the community, and when you show up the morning before school, you're trying to find where that hidden buggy is. And I mean, there's been years they've been on the roof, they've been maybe in the courtyard someplace they shouldn't have been, and it's just a lot of fun. And probably the senior year when winning Buggy Bowl on the home court after them beating us in the tournament is probably my favorite memory. So.
Well, for those of us or them, our audience that aren't from around here, and we're so lucky, to have the 3 schools that we do here, and the games that you can pencil in and year out, that they're going to be a great atmosphere, a great challenge, and just a lot of fun. What is so special about, how is that? Well, what makes that so special? Any of you, and just feel free to answer. I mean, what is it about the kids or the communities or the childhoods, whatever? I mean, just talk about it.
As far as I go, and as far as the Montgomery, a lot of those guys are my friends. I mean, one of the starters was my best man in my wedding.
Yeah.
And actually, my brother-in-law broke his back in the sectional game. And so that's what made it special for me. I always wanted to play Bar Reeve. I'd have played them every game. And, having that relationship with those kids, and, a lot of times we have family. And, like, when we played, we had just as many Grabers and Whitmers and those guys as they did.
And Waglers.
And so it was just fun. It was great. And pride. It was just as much pride as anything.
Yeah.
I mean, to go down and say you beat them and that kind of stuff, that's what made it special.
Yes.
Well, I always used to think as a coach, and, I'm not from around here, but I've been here 21 years, so I feel part Graber and Wagler myself these days. But, I always thought I didn't like Bar Reeve, and it wasn't that. I just wanted to beat him so bad. I respect Bar Reeve very, very much, and I like a lot of those guys over there. Like Coach Wag says, they're really good people over there, and so, it's not that we don't like them. We respect them, and they're so good, year in, year out. They became a benchmark for what we wanted our program to be like when I got here. I mean, it didn't take me long to figure that out, that, hey, you better be like them, or you better find out what they're doing, or else you're never going to win.
You've made
sectional.
comments to me many times that it's made you a better coach.
Absolutely, it has. So I have a ton of respect for the people in Montgomery and at Bar Reeve, and for their basketball knowledge, for how they just continue to build that feeder program year in, year out. And, when you hear people say, well, Bar Reeve's down, well, that means they're going to win 16 games instead of 20.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they're going to win 4. And so just a ton of respect for those guys. And I, too, have a lot of friends from Montgomery, or a lot of acquaintances. And, it's a good place. Really like their golf course. It's a nice place, too. And,
Sure.
So just a ton of respect, and I feel like they are a huge part of our success here at North Davies as well.
Coach Rigg, is anything else to throw in on just what makes it so special?
Yeah, just kind of go off what Logan said. They all are friends, and just because the game everybody sees here, that's not the only game we played, Bar Reeve versus North Davis. I mean, there's a lot of times that it'd be a Sunday afternoon, you'd get a text from a guy from Bar Reeve, hey, I got 5 guys going, find you 5, let's meet up and play. And that's what it's all about. And those were just as competitive and got after it, and probably got after it a little bit more than we should have a lot of times on those days and nights. And
piggyback off that real quick, I think that's why a lot of these games are so close. It's because everybody knows everybody's tendencies.
Absolutely.
Whether they go left off the dribble or shot, fake, and drive, or they're a good shooter. I mean, even with on top of the scouting, they see it in the Graber barn or wherever they play these games at. And they see it all the time, their whole lives. So that's why they're so close. Even if you can throw records out the window, in these games. So Finish your thought.
Yeah, just like going off of that right there, Coach can hand us a scouting report, and it's like, yeah, we know. We played these guys. Yeah. I mean, we've seen them more than you have. So so let's get after it and take the floor and see what happens.
Well, and we seem to – everybody seems to raise their level of play, too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you are. I've seen some amazing things happen in that game from our players that you don't see throughout the whole year. Somebody hits shots or makes some plays, and it's a lot of fun, and again, it makes you better.
Yeah, I think Coach Wagler said it best. It's about pride.
Yeah.
It's about the bragging rights, so to speak, and you'll see it here Saturday night for sure, which I want to talk about this year's matchup. I want to get these guys' thoughts on top of, obviously, Coach Downpool's thoughts. Coach Wagler, what kind of effort and what do you see for our Cougars to have a chance to, get it done Saturday night?
Yeah.
Well, I was listening to the podcast today that you were on.
Sure.
And I think it was DeCourcy mentioned something like winning is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting how if you look back to these years and you look through the records that we have against these, they come in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll lose some, we'll be a little bit short, and then we'll get over the hump once. Well, then we'll win,
4 or 5.
We'll go 500 the next 10 games.
Right.
And so that's something that we haven't beat them in a while, okay? And so it's going to take something from a special group, and you're going to have to pick up your play a little bit, and you're going to have to be aggressive and do it. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a total team effort. I mean, there's no secret it's going to be a tall task.
Yeah.
And it's a tall task for any team around in the state.
Sure.
And so I think it's going to take a total team effort, defensively, helping on the inside. And we've been working on that. If you watch the games throughout the year, it's plain as day what we're working on. And so it'll be a good game to see where we're at.
Sure,
and I think, we'll surprise some people, I think.
I hope so.
I think the Herald line was 22, I heard.
It was 22, yeah.
Everyone knows better than that. So
Exactly. Coach Riggins, what kind of effort we need? And what's some keys to the victory for us?
Yeah, first off, I'm really excited to call that game. And,
yes, sir.
There's some games that I'm really excited to call, and, that's one where I'm looking forward to. And, kind of like Coach Wag said there, we're going to have to, control the ball, control the tempo, handle the big guy inside because he's a horse. I mean, he's going Division I Bellarmine. So just make sure that exactly like Coach said there, it's a team effort. Guys are going to have to do things they maybe not have done all year, hit that big shot or get that big defensive stop or go up and get a rebound that we may not have gotten in the past 10 games that we played. And I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. And like Coach said, I think we're going to surprise some people, hopefully, and get after it. And hopefully it's a good game. I think it will be on both sides, and we both see two teams at a high level.
And you mentioned a special group, and Coach Downpool, I want you to kind of feed off of that. Do you feel like this is the group that can get you over the hump again? It's been a minute, and we've talked about that. It's been since 2011. March 4th was the last time we've beaten Bar Reeve. What are you looking for your team in this first matchup with Bar Reeve?
Well, the thing is, what I've got out of these kids is they are competitors, and they will flat show up and be ready to play. I know that. There's many ways that you can choose to play against Bar Reeve, and none of them are great. Bar Reeve is a very good basketball team, and none of them are going to be foolproof. The good thing about this team is we're so versatile that we have 5 or 6 things that we can pick from to do. So if one thing's not working, then we can try some other things. So I like our versatility against them. But man, they're big and they're strong. And Coach mentioned it. Winning is a skill. They know how to win, not just this year, but over the past few years. And they've got the whole package. I mean, they got bigs on the inside. They've got guards. They got shooters. They got one of the best point guards in the state. And they're the real deal. And but it's still a basketball game where you can only put 5 guys on the floor. And I've always felt that if you can handle the basketball and you can play defense and you can rebound, you win any game. And I feel like those are 3 real big strengths of what we do. And, we'll throw it out there on Saturday, and it's not the end-all, be-all. It's a learning experience for our kids. We still have we talked about the fact that all these kids are pretty inexperienced. Well, they're very inexperienced with a real buggy bowl varsity level type deal.
Right.
And, they're going to have to go out and see what it's all about and learn from it. And then when the real time comes in March, hopefully we've learned enough to go get at a game and see what happens then.
Yeah, and before we move on to close here, anything else to throw in on just looking back on your guys' careers? I know it's 2011 graduate and 2009 graduate. You coached all those games. Between 2005 and 2011, we were 7-7. So we closed the gap, and we were right there with them and above them in some years. Anything else you remember or you want to encourage our kids and maybe to, obviously it's going to be different this year without the fans, which is a total blow as far as what the atmosphere will be like. But anything you want to just pass on to our kids, Logan?
If it was any normal year, I would tell them to just enjoy the environment.
Yeah.
I mean, man, how lucky we are you mentioned earlier, being three teams in this close of an area that can play at such an elite level year in and year out. And but no, as far as Saturday night, enjoy it. Play your butts off, I mean, it's what I would do to play Bar Eve one more time. I don't care who is on the team, and that's, man, it just gives me goosebumps. It
gets you emotional, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's just those games mean so much to me, and just every game. Don't care who's playing, So,
Coach Riggins, any advice or just words of wisdom for our young team?
Yeah, you're going to come out and you're going to see Bar Eve on the front of their chest, and that's part of it. It's part of it. There's going to be games to run. They're going to score 10 straight, but you can come back and score 10 straight. It's going to be up and down. Just embrace it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the challenge that this year, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And like Coach said, this one game is not the end-all, be-all. I mean, just like in 11, we got beat by him first thing, and we knew he was going to get another shot. And, either way it goes, just know you're going to get another shot no matter what. And, just moving forward for, the North Davis team as a whole, and as young as they are with those 3 sophomores, winning's fun. Winning's a lot of fun. So keep grinding, trust the process that Coach is telling you, and keep looking forward to things. So your 4 years of high school is the best thing you can do. And like we've touched on, having 3 teams so close in this area, it's a lot of fun, and not many kids get to see it and go through it. So just enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah, I agree totally. I obviously wasn't a part of that rivalry, but I've felt it, and I'm in it here now and been here for almost 10 years. And it is every sport is just different when they come to town or you make that 8-mile trip down the road. It's just different, and I can't really explain it. As coaches as well, it's really unique. Coach Downpool, unfortunately, we are a red county in this 2020, 2021 COVID craziness. It won't be the environment we want here Saturday night. Tell us about that.
Well, our kids have done a really good job of handling that. I was worried about that to start the season, and like you guys have kind of joked around a little bit, it's not that much different for the girls. They don't get a whole great big crowd.
Sure.
But for the boys, it's a lot different. But what I found is when you tip the ball up and both teams start playing, it's the exact same.
Yep.
It's the exact same. So we're going to be excited with that, and it is a red county, so it is going to be only parents and siblings allowed in here, unfortunately. But the game itself, the intensity, the getting after itness is going to be everything that we want. And the thing I'll say about it is we always use this game and the Linton game as the final part of our first half of our season. And then you judge on what changes you need to make, personnel or offensively, defensively, those types of things. So, again, we're going to use this as a learning experience, and we're going to go try to win the game. There's no doubt about that. But if we don't, that doesn't mean that we can't do it in 6 weeks. And we're real confident, and we love our team. And that's a great thing about our team is we are smart, and we will be able to make adjustments and be ready to go again in 6 weeks.
Well, first things first, you got to win Friday night to win Saturday night.
Sure.
So can't overlook the Lakers by any means. You got to take care of business. It's a good test, to put a game like that on the road right before a big game, see where you're at mentally. And you guys got anything else before we wrap up here, girls wise? I mean, are we're going right along? We're making progress. We're improving. Best of luck to us and to you tomorrow. Coach Wagler, thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. I can just see it in your eyes and your face, how emotional this game was to you. And it's really pretty cool, pretty cool that you had those special memories. And and I hope that the kids are listening and appreciate that. So thank you for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks for what you guys do.
Yeah.
I watch everyone, just like a lot of people, and
Yeah.
watching the games and doing the games, so
Sure.
much appreciated.
Coach Downpool, any closing thoughts?
No, appreciate you guys being here. Coach Wags, thanks for showing up. And, it's a great place to be, man. North Davies is a great place to be. You got great people and great friends, and, we'll just keep on keeping on here.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you again to our sponsors, and we will wrap up here from the Cougar Den. We will be live Friday evening at Shakamak around 7:15, and then we actually haven't told Coach this yet, but we're going to do the JV game on Saturday night as well.
Sounds good.
Get the JV guys some love, so to speak, on for the Buggy Bowl, and then we'll have the varsity game around 7:30 that evening. So big weekend ahead for the Cougars. Big week for the girls. Keep tuning into our Facebook Live. Thank you to John Burkhart behind the scenes, running the camera and doing what he does. Thank you guys, and have a great evening. I'm Coach McNabb signing off from North Davies.